Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's final head-to-head press conference for Saturday's boxing at the Titanic Exhibition Centre here in Belfast. Builders Homecoming. There's some terrific fights on the card, promoted by Frank Warren, Queensbury Promotions, and broadcast live and exclusive on BoxNation. As I said, we've got some cracking fights on the card. We've got a selection of those guys here today to answer your questions and to put across their thoughts on the fights that they've got at the weekend and obviously their ambitions for the future. But first and foremost, obviously they've all got jobs to do on Saturday. I'm very excited about this. Very excited to be back in Belfast. We've had some terrific nights here over the years, and very, very happy to be back. Just like to just quickly run through the ticket and price categories. Priced at 30, 40, 50, sorry, 30, 40, 60 and £150. They're available from frankwarren.com and ticketmaster.co.uk. Just going to introduce some of the guys, or all the guys here that are on the top table here today. Starting off with Stephen Ward, to my left there, making his pro debut, making a home debut from Belfast, and very, very successful amateur, having won 3 Ulster titles, 5 Irish titles, and most impressively, silver medals at the Commonwealth Games. Very much looking forward to seeing him make his debut. Wishing him all the very best for his career, and I'm sure it's going to be a very, very successful one. And having a home support on his debut is obviously always a bonus. So, Stephen, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, no, excited. Looking forward to having the debut in Belfast. What more can you ask for? So, looking forward to the road ahead.
Excellent. Thanks, Stephen. Next to introduce Con Sheehan, who's 3-0, who's fighting over 8 threes in the heavyweight division. He's training with Peter Fury, with Team Fury. Very much a heavyweight prospect. Some very, very exciting comments being made about Con. Again, excellent amateur pedigree with 203 wins and only 18 defeats. So that's he's racked up quite a few amateur fights there, and to only have tasted defeat 18 times, 221 fights is obviously some feat. Won 6 national Irish titles during those 221 fights, and obviously caught the eye of a very well-respected trainer over in the States. Started his career with Virgil Hunter and actually made his debut over in the States. But now he's back home with Team Fury, and as I mentioned, training with Peter, and I'm sure being surrounded by that sort of experience and in that sort of gym environment, he's going to go a very long way. So, Con, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to fighting in Ireland. I didn't fight in Ireland now since 2014, I think, the last senior championships. So, just looking forward to getting back, fighting at home and putting on a good show. That's it, really.
Excellent. Next fight is an absolute cracker. We've got Tyrone McKenna fighting against Sean CREAGH for the Celtic Light welterweight title. Tyrone being 11-0-1 and Sean being 4-0, relatively, on paper at least, inexperienced, but I know he's keen to obviously progress quickly, and fair play to Sean for taking this fight with having only had 4 fights. I expect this to be quite a technical fight. Both guys are very skilled in what they do, and very interesting to see. This one, Tyrone obviously being a southpaw, and he's got a couple of good wins over Danny Little and Chris Adaway, so very excited about this one. So Sean, just like to say a few words.
I'm just looking forward to the fight, and just looking forward to winning and causing an upset. I think this is the level of both of them, just going to show them now.
Tyrone?
Yeah, just happy to be on a great bill like this, doing the panel happening. back in Belfast. Just happy to be in a fight that's creating a lot of buzz in Belfast with undefeated CREAGH. Also hoping to shake his winning streak.
No chance.
Okay. It's not going to go past 4 rounds, Sean.
You think so, eh?
Yeah,
Not
100%.
going past 2, you fool it. Going to sleep, yeah.
Okay.
Fists.
What? I'll take a big head off your shoulders.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Please come up and see if fucking side of me.
I don't know what I'm like that.
That's going to be a good one. Maybe not as technical as I thought. Next, to introduce Philip Sutcliffe Jr. Fighting Chris Jenkins. Again, this looks like it could be, for me, fight of the night. I think it's a really, really interesting fight. Both guys have got great records. It'll be over 10 rounds in the super lightweight division. Start off with Philip. He's 11-1 with 7 knockouts. His only setback, his only defeat was a points loss in Germany. So I won't read too much into that one. Just to talk about Chris as well, was he's got 2 blemishes on his record, which is 16-1-1, and that was a draw and a loss to British champion Tyrone Nurse. So again, both guys have got great records, and obviously both be looking for title fights in 2017. But obviously they've got to overcome each other first, and it's going to be a cracking fight, this one. So Philip.
Apologies for being late anyway. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. It's been one I've been looking forward to a long time to get some domestic level and anyway, some sort of decent opponents. But look, it's going to be a cracking fight. I hope Chris can produce the goods.
Chris, is that a few
I
words?
understand what he said.
Imagine how I feel.
No, obviously I've been knocking up with obviously you, but I'm just ready. I'm come over here to be an opponent for them, for me to win. And come back inside and get back up to the pecking order where I belong. And that's going for another title again. And I've never been a fighter to dodge any opponent. Like the one with Fight Nurse, I stepped up straight away. So, you see the big talk about him over here. I respect him. So it's going to be a good fight, and it's going to probably be fight tonight as well. Our 2 sides are going to clash and roll on.
Thanks, guys. Just next to introduce a amateur legend to my right, Paddy Barnes. He's a triple Olympian, making his pro debut at flyweight against a very experienced man from Bulgaria, Stefan Slavchev. He's the most decorated Irish amateur of all time. Bronzed medals at the 2008 and 2012 Olympics. He's won a European senior title and 2 Commonwealth Games gold medals, and also having been ranked #1 in the WSB. So those accolades speak for themselves. Starts off in a 6-rounder, so he's not starting off slow, and obviously wants to get motoring. So much so that he's been quoted this week in saying that he will become a 3-weight world champion. So obviously wish him all the very best, and first step to that huge ambition is on Saturday night. So Paddy Barnes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to making a debut in Belfast. Going to 6-round fight straight away because obviously I've fought for 5 rounds with WSB, so there's no point to going back to 4 rounds. Fighting the fellas from Bulgaria, I take it anyway. He's only lost 24 times, so I hope they have that. Sorry, he lost 25 times.
Slip that balloon. Thanks for that, Paddy. Next to introduce the man to my left, Jamie CONLAN. Just come off winning very, very well, very rightly so, thrilling fight of the year contest against Anthony Nelson. Since then he's had a knockout win in Cardiff, but obviously we'll be looking for bigger fish than he's going to be frying this Saturday We had a couple of issues with some of Jamie's opponents, and we're fighting in an 8-round contest this weekend. But he cannot afford any slip-ups because his next fight after this will be for a WBO world title eliminator. So we fully expect Jamie to be fighting for a world title February, March next year. But obviously, he can't take his eye off the ball and has to keep motoring and take this fight on Saturday as seriously as he has done any others or will do in the future. I'm pretty sure that you can all agree that Jamie does not have a one boring fight in him. Probably could do with having a couple of quiet ones, but it's not his style. A lot of people comparing him to the style to Arturo Gatti, which is a huge accolade and fantastic comparison to be made. But it's the way he fights. Never looks pretty after a fight. And obviously he wears his heart on his sleeve and fully deserves the world title shot that hopefully he will secure for 2017. Jamie CONLAN.
Cheers, Francis. Thanks to everyone coming out today. Saturday's going to be the start of big things for Belfast boxing, and pleasure to be a part of it, and pleasure to be all the lads we're doing.
Thanks, Jamie. And lastly, but by no means least, for the vacant WBO Intercontinental Featherweight Championship, will be Marco McCulloch, 15-3 with 9 knockouts, against Luis Lugo, 17-5 from Mexico. 17-5-3 from Mexico. Great fight. Marco was unfortunate. He's with a cut against Isaac Lowe, and that was stopped in the 8th round. But got back to winning ways, in the next fight, and he's obviously looking to kick on, get himself a world ranking win this weekend, and to, like Jamie, push on for world honours next year. I think he's more than capable of doing so, and wish him all the best for Saturday.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. Unfortunately, Jimmy's fight not a title anymore. It gives me a chance to sort of step up and show what I can do. It's always great to fight in Belfast, and I've got a new team around me now, so I just want to go out and show what I can do. Fighting tough Mexican. See, he made his debut when he was 13, so that sort of explains how tough he really is. He's coming into the fight at 21 years of age, and he's got more experience on me, so I'm expecting a real tough fight, and I'm looking forward to show everyone what I can do and what the new team will be working on.
Thank you very much. Just to mention a few of the other guys on the bill: Declan Geraghty, Stephen Allman, Sean Turner, James Tennyson, Gary Sweeney. I think we've covered everyone, and Tyrone McKenna. So it's a fantastic bill. Sorry, Tyrone's there. I mentioned that. Sorry, it's a fantastic bill, and very much looking forward to it. As we've all said, great to be back in Belfast, and I hope to see you all down there on Saturday. Can we take any questions, please?
Jimmy, it's not the ideal opponent, but you were also saying how important Saturday night for you.
No, it's not the ideal opponent, and then when I got told during the week that it was going to be kind of this opponent, I was very deflated, but just had to remind myself and the team remind me that there's bigger things ahead, there's bigger fish to fry, and just got to go in and do the job on Saturday and keep the ball rolling, because this game's just like snakes and ladders. Just takes you a lot to get up, but it's very easy to slip back down, and one of these wee nights where you don't have an off night or you look bad, it's just you fall back down the pecking order and no one wants to know you again.
Francis, are you looking at the eliminator for February? Is that the...
Yes, so eliminator will probably be sort of early part of 2017, and then secure a world title shot for later on in the year. Jamie, as I mentioned, he's never in a boring fight, and fully deserves to be up there and challenging for world honours.
Francis, you've seen in recent months Canada has become a bit of a fixture on the BoxNation Frank Warren schedule. Do you think that Belfast becomes something like that as well, that you could see you back here maybe in 2017 a couple of times?
Well, undoubtedly, I think you go where the talent is, and you can just see it sitting here at the top table here, plus all the guys on the undercard. It's we're not going to avoid places that are abundant with talent. Obviously, with Jamie, Marco, and the guys, all challenging for titles. It's it's a no-brainer to keep coming back here.
How's the tickets gone?
Well,
That's the way it's good.
very well. You got yours?
What was Francis mentioned the CREAGH fight there? It's almost like you're starting a new chapter in your career, and obviously this is a great opportunity for you to kick on.
Yes, well, I took that CREAGH fight really bad. I thought everything went perfect at the time, but I look back, and that's why I've decided to change. So I'm excited again, especially being in Belfast, especially with a new team, especially the MGM believe in me and put me straight back out for titles. So I'm excited about the future again.
Harry, how hard has the build-up been? Has it been the hardest you've ever had to fight with Mary and everything going on?
Well, it hasn't been ideal at all. I've had a found out. I've had a idea what was going to go on. At this stage, I definitely wouldn't have fought. But it's 2 days away. Done a lot of training, and it's only 2 days. After that, they're out and relaxed, and Mary's still in the hospital. She's been in the hospital 8 weeks. She's really, really sick, but I've sold a lot of tickets. I'm not going to spoil the show. I'm going to show up Saturday night and take all my anger out in this fella from all year. I pray it's what I want.
Francis, what about Paddy's expectations? He wants to be fighting for the European title in 3 or 4 fights. Can you realistically deliver that in the pro business?
As long as he keeps wins on Saturday, yeah. Gives the guy from Hungary his 25th defeat. You've seen probably Lomachenko's the benchmark in terms of having a stellar amateur careers, enable guys to progress a lot quicker for titles and for ranking titles. If the opportunities come up, then absolutely why not?
How do you feel about that, Paddy? Is that you feel you're really going to push the guys to get those fights? Have you looked at it?
Yeah, definitely. I'm fighting that. I was no hiding behind the fact of fighting a journeyman first fight. I was offered a fighting fight for my first fight, but because of the circumstances, I declined. But the only reason I took this fight is because it's in Belfast, and I would love to be in Belfast. But come next year, I'm going to be fighting 8 rounders and 10 rounders to get me up the ladder and be able to, I'd be able to fight for titles as soon as possible, because the WSB and fighting world class amateurs are coming to win. I want to be pushed on up the ladder fast against opponents who are a lot better than Stanche, whatever you want to it's okay me staying, but hope you don't catch me on Saturday night.
Sean, is this a bit of a grudge match between yourself and...
I wouldn't think so. He thinks he's level above. I'm just going to prove him wrong. Shut him up.
How do you respond to that, Joe?
Didn't even listen to him. Didn't even know what he
He
said.
seems very nervous, doesn't he? Doesn't want to speak or just enjoy it. Just at home, see you, Pat.
No, don't worry, I don't
We're
care.
getting taken out.
What?
We're getting taken
Those
out.
levels?
Yeah, I know beneath me. Watch, I'll show you.
Okay, Sean. I've watched you get sparked out in videos.
You fought the fucking fellow we fought me second fight like 12 feet. Where are you going?
My first 5 fights were harder than you.
You're fucking option.
And the best person you've ever fought. I fought 90 people better than you.
100%.
Well then,
And then what?
I fought 90 people better.
And what?
What are you talking about?
I'm going to beat you Saturday night.
You're a fucking idiot.
What?
You're stupid.
I'm stupid.
You need to get brain scan something.
Yeah. Let's see.
Don't miss it.
It makes for a good one.
Don't miss it.
Just keep your hands up, boys.
In terms of British scene, where does the win on Saturday night take you? How does that push you on?
Yeah. I'll get a good fights coming away after this. Hopefully maybe even the winner of Jenkins himself. Would love that.
I'll be getting.
Come on, Tyrone. I
There
tell
you
you
go,
what,
we get it.
you're building yourself up really quick.
You won't be winning anyway.
Okay. Sean, no one's talking to you.
Yeah,
No one's talking to you. I ain't calling him, not you.
well.
But yeah, it puts me in a good position to get better fights. I mean, there's top fights out there for me. So yeah, I'm concentrating Saturday night first and then see what happens after.
Stephen, you're coming in, you know, after a great career in the amateurs. Obviously, it's a great build for you to get your pro career underway.
Yeah, brilliant. Couldn't ask for better. You know, was happy enough just to be getting the debut in Belfast. So, you know, a lot of people make their debut elsewhere. So we did it in the hometown, super. And to be doing on such a stacked bill, you know, I really think this bill's going to be one of them bills you look back in a couple of years and you look at the amount of people that are on it, where they're at now. So I'm excited, I'm looking forward to it all.
Any more questions, ladies and gents?
Shane, what do you think of
Yep, there is.
Belfast and not the amateurs now with the pro?
That's good, yeah. Like I said, it's didn't fight in Ireland in a long time, a good few years, so it's exciting. Come back now and do the business, you know. Simple as that, really. Kick on to bigger fights then, do good domestic fights there and whatnot, so looking forward to it all.
It's good.
Try again. Any more questions? Thank you very much for being here. Some guys available for one-on-ones and for some photos, and we'll see you Saturday. Thank you.